Hey, welcome back, everybody. What's going on? Hope that you're all faring well, and I'm glad to have you back. Welcome. We're now at lesson number 7 in the secret number 2, which is the step-by-step process here to increase your cash flow while leveraging various studies without having any side effects. So now we're dealing with lesson 7, which is it's like pretty much I call this rinse and repeat. Um, Mainly about being consistent. You want to be consistent with the studies one after another. So we're going to call this rinse. Whoop. Number 7. Hope you all have been learning a lot going forward with this. I try to make it as informative as possible, and also easy as possible to help you out. Rinse and repeat. Ah, yeah, the cruelty of being a perfectionist. Rinse and repeat. That's better. And the key word with this, what we're going to talk about, is consistency. This word alone is worth its weight in gold. There's one word, consistency. It's worth its weight in gold, because being consistent is the reason why I have went from $0 in the bank account, homeless, hungry, broke, no plan at all. I didn't have I didn't have any way of knowing how I would get out this situation with my back against the wall, hitting rock bottom. This one word, consistency, with these clinical study secrets that I know of today, this is what's helped me to go from to the six-figure mark and go beyond, to be able to help so many people, to help other people make money and change their life, to get out of a bad situation. It's all about consistency. Okay. Now, what I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is the consistency with the studies. Once you see this information and you see how the process goes, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. That's how you're going to become a pro so quick. And you all that's taken this course, that invested in this, you're going to be a pro more than like 90% of the other people, right? Because even though you've taken this course, you're listening, you're learning, you're going from point A to point B, you're 1, 2, 3, you're getting it. You're going to be farther ahead than everybody else, because a lot of people that are coming in, there's new people I see all the time. When I used to do the studies, I see people all the time new that they don't know this, they don't know that. And I'm like, wow, it'd be so awesome if I just show people this and created something, because people need to know this, right? And like I said, the only reason why I had the investment cost of $100 is because, it's small peanuts to anything to someone that's making thousands upon thousands to multi-thousands, 10,000, 25, 50 to 100,000, dollars doing this, making a career from doing these studies, right? It's nothing to them. That's why I charge, so that you can have some skin in the game. Like I say it all the time. You want to be able to have something that you can say, hey, I put something in that. That's why I know that it's going to work for me, right? Because you have to believe first, right? And when you believe more, you do believe more when you put something in the pot. And that's just true, right? It happened with me. It's happened with a lot of my peers that are successful. That's the way it goes, okay? But consistency is what changed it all, right? Once I did that first one, that was it. I was just off to the races, right? Every single month I was looking at doing this. Every single time I get out of a study, I look at setting an alarm on my phone, right? I take the money, of course, take care of obligations, take care of responsibilities, all of that good stuff, but I take to time out to map out, set up a plan for the next one, right? And then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. It never stopped. This was literally my, if I guess you would want to say job, I wouldn't call it a job. I say it was my profession. All right. That's why I say I'm a rich lab rat, and I'm helping you all where you all can be rich lab rats, where you all can be able to take this skill, because this is a skill set, knowing how to do this the way to where it can guarantee you to get in, or 99%. Nothing's guaranteed, right? But 99%, it can pretty much assure that you get in, have that cash flow, have that revenue, take that money, and we can run with it, right? So mainly it's just about being consistent with being, and this goes and ties into a lot of things. It's not just consistent with studies, it's consistent with your times, um when you're showing up to your procedures, it's consistent with your you're drinking water while you're in the study. Make sure you're drinking water. You don't have to eat all the food they give you. It's a choice, unless it's after you dose and they say you have to eat, all your food. Some studies say you have to eat all the meal because it's a certain calorie diet or fat diet or whatever it is that they give you that you got to have, right, with taking the drug. But for the most part, you don't have to eat all your food. You can choose not to eat if you want. It's totally up to you. You do have to show up there though, right, to tell them that, because remember, everything is by chart. Everything is written down and documented. But yeah, consistent with your water drinking, consistent with your eating, your rest, getting your rest. When you get out the study, consistent with following the procedures, they have restrictions. Sometimes they say, hey, whether it's sex, they say you got to wait before you have the sex, like so far as like maybe saying use your contraceptive or your barrier method or your protective method, you know what I mean, because you want to make sure that you use protection, because with the drug getting out of your system, they don't want anything happening to somebody, or whether you get someone pregnant, whether you're a woman or whether it's a man and y'all have a child, you don't want to have any complications, right? So they tell you strict rules for all of this. This is not something that's like scaring you. It's something to let you know that, hey, you got to be consistent. Just be consistent with what was going on that we explained to you, orientation, and we've paid you the money. We got to just make sure that you're still consistent. Usually, though, with the consistency I'm talking about here is dealing with, getting in other studies. So you would literally want to, they say it's a 30-day washout period. Now you might be like, what does that mean, Maurice? Well, washout period means the period to when the drugs are specifically not so much out of your body, but when they at the facility want to let you come back to do another one, because they say that that's enough period where the drugs are out of your body, where they want to get you into another study in their facility. Because you can go back to the same facility, it's just you can only do it once a month. Okay? That's a key note there to remember. The same facility can be done once a month. All right? That's just a hint for you all there. So, with that being said, yeah, just be mindful of that. Be consistent. Say if you want to go exercise, say if you want to go do your regular routine that you were doing before studies, you can do that. That's fine. Just make sure that if you want to do another study, follow the process, right? Remember the process I told you when we talked about that back in, we talked about the screening process, right? To be in the first screening when you're on the phone, make sure don't really do anything like 2 to 3 days before. So like 48 to 72 hours before you're going to be doing the screening for your labs, like your blood work, your EKG, dealing with your urine sample, things of that nature, your height, your weight. You don't want to do a lot of things that can just really take that off, go out of whack. Okay? So with that being said, that's pretty much it with the consistency. If you follow this being consistent, you're going to be able to get in every single month. You're going to be able to have cash flow coming every single month, and you're not even working for it. I mean, one study could be a week, one study could for like 2-3 grand, one study could be like 2 weeks you might do, it could be for like 5-6 grand, it could be a month for 8 to 10 grand, right? Or it could be outpatients that you do that suit you better. May stay in there for 1-2 days, then after that you got 3 or 4 outpatients, or 5 or 6 outpatients where you're coming once a week, right? And they're paying you as well. So it just depends, however you want it, whatever fits you, your schedule, whatever fits your lifestyle. But just know that being consistent, this is the Lab Rat lifestyle. If you want to call yourself having that, you gotta be consistent, okay? All right. Hope that was well thought out for you, laid out. Hope you got some value out of that. And like always, as we say, smile, say cheese, because we're gonna show you how to get that cheese. All right. See you on the next one.